I think we should like create a Housewives trivia game because I think you and I could like completely do that.
Yeah, let's do it. Why didn't you want to say that?
Because I don't want somebody stealing our idea.
You think someone's going to steal the idea?
I don't know who listens.
Oh, you mean like a trivia, like a product, an actual product. Well, I wonder if we'd have to get it licensed through Bravo.
Probably.
We certainly could come up with the questions. I mean,
absolutely. Every franchise, every season, we could do it.
Yeah, we definitely could. I mean, listen, like I said, we've been doing this like it's our job for 19 years.
19 years.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelli, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelli.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta Reunion Season 16, first episode. So
They don't title these, huh?
They don't
They
title.
just say Reunion Episode 1, yeah.
Yeah, Reunion Part 1. I thought it was interesting how it started out. You know, we see Phaedra looking for Britt, walking around looking for Britt. I guess the reason I thought it was interesting is because Cynthia had talked about it on Humble Brag. And she said that producers had her go check, and she's the one who like announced it, but that's not what happened.
No.
So
it is interesting because production completely, like, obviously Cynthia is telling the truth. She has no reason to lie. And then production turned it around. You know what I thought was interesting? And it's funny because I listened to Tamra and Dolores. I just started listening to their episode today talking about this, and I only got like maybe 10 minutes in. But we see a couple of the girls get dropped off, and then we see Porsha sleeping in her dressing room. So Dolores said to Tamra, did they sleep at the studio? And Tamra's like, no, we saw everybody get out of their cars. And I was thinking, no, Dolores is right. Porsha was sleeping. Maybe she just got there super early. I don't know, but Porsha was definitely sleeping.
Yeah, she was.
And everybody else got out of a car.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, I put she was napping on the couch. I mean, sleeping, napping. She was definitely laying on the couch.
Maybe she just got there early and figured, let me just get my ass there and then, wake me up when we're ready.
It did look like she was like she had partially some stuff done. It's not like she,
Well, I think they showed Phaedra going into her dressing room at 8:30, and she said, what time are we starting? And she said 9.
9,
so she had to have had something done by then. Portia's not going to get ready for a reunion in a half hour.
Right, because they got there at 6:30. Like, we see them start arriving, and it says 6:30 a.m.
Yeah, so she probably just got there, had some shit done, and then took a nap.
Right. The ladies are supposed to be starting taping at 9, but then we see Andy sitting on the couch by himself at 11:30. And then all of a sudden,
crazy.
They start coming in. I mean, that is crazy. Seriously,
Dolores was like, that would never fly on our show.
No,
that would never fly.
And that's probably why Porsha was laying down, because she knows her castmates, right?
Right.
Like, why am I going to sit here already, an extra 2 hours? I'll just take a nap,
You know what's funny on Miami? Did you watch Miami yet?
No, I did not.
They flash back when they're showing how Lisa's always late for things. They flash back and it's a reunion, and she comes walking out and thinks she's going to get like some big hello. And Andy's like, you're not getting a big greeting. Just sit down. We're late. Like, he seemed pissed.
But
that was just her, not all of them.
Yeah. So I didn't watch the Miami one, but I did hear one of the podcasts talking about it, and they were saying about how they were really late for this something, but Lisa supposedly let them know in advance that she was going to be 2 hours late, but they sat there and held the bus or whatever it was for her,
So Gina said it when Gina and I did this.
Well, maybe it was our podcast.
Maybe it was ours. Yeah. Gina said that she read right before we got on to record that Lisa put something out there saying the producers were well aware I was going to be late. I told them I will get my own transportation to the event. And they said, no, just come when you can. but they must not have told the ladies, or they did tell the ladies and they just still reacted the way they reacted.
Or they didn't tell Stephanie, right? Because Stephanie supposedly is the one that was really upset about it.
Right. No, I mean, everybody else, Marisol was like, now you know what we've been dealing with for 11 years. Like, they didn't seem upset, whatever.
Right. It
It's
is what it is.
production.
Yes, exactly.
That show is so overproduced, Miami.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. So Andy's sitting there. Then the ladies, finally start coming out. Porsha is fresh off a new procedure, and we meet Coco and Chanel. They're back in their position. And they were big. I mean, they were big.
And perky and perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, what she was wearing looked extremely uncomfortable with that thing up the middle, like holding them.
It did look uncomfortable.
But though especially when you first get them done, they stand up on their own. So it's not like you're wearing that for support. It wouldn't be like me wearing that dress where the thing probably would have bent in half when I put it on.
Right. No, right. They do stand up on their own. And I think they do that for a long time afterwards.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. I didn't understand the hello Shamea from plus one. Now I get
she was
it.
a friend of.
From the plus one to the one. Okay, that makes sense. Kelli brought her crystal, and then Andy announces that Britt is not, she's chosen not to join them. Kelly's reaction was that, she feels like she's caused mass destruction, and she should have been here to speak on it. And we find out that Porsha spoke to her.
She's going to file a lawsuit instead.
Yeah, we find out that Porsha spoke to her the night before, and she didn't give any indication that she wasn't coming. As a matter of fact, she was talking about how Mike was coming because the husbands were going to be there.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting. Shamea said she was looking forward to holding her accountable. And then Drew said that she texted me a few weeks ago and said she was filing a lawsuit. And I guess that lawsuit is in reference to the pictures from that Kenya posted, because I think that's what's going to come out is supposedly the pictures came from Drew.
Yeah.
But these are a lot
and
of
I
supposed.
remember hearing that a while ago, don't you?
I remember hearing that the pictures came from a current housewife when they came out. I remember hearing that. That's where they came from.
I feel like Drew was implicated at some point in this, but who knows?
Yeah. Andy was talking to Phaedra about her outfit and her big headpiece, and she said that she was inspired by the jab. That's how that headpiece came about.
I did not like one of those dresses.
I didn't either. I really didn't. And honestly, I didn't even like the color scheme they picked, like that gold and yellow. I didn't like it.
I know.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
They didn't ask us, so we get what we get. So
they didn't.
Andy asked if anyone would like to set any intentions for the day, and Porsha said that she would like to set an intention, that they honor who we are, and we are in whatever space we're in. And she talks about that she feels like she has healed a lot herself, and that she feels like she's in a totally different mindset. She feels like she's back to being herself again. And she wants to figure out if she's going to be able to move forward with people or if she's just going to close the door. Listen, I think she was very specific with her intentions. And I really, honestly, the way she spoke about them, I think that those were really her intentions. That's what I felt. Like this was not made up bullshit. Like she went there with these intentions. Either I'm going to move forward with this person or I'm going to close the door. And then they go on a break. And as soon as they come back, Cynthia's there, which was good because we needed Cynthia there.
Yeah.
She said she loved being there to support everyone. And pretty much, she really was kind of the glue. She does know all of those women. She's been on that show and in Atlanta for a long time. She's been through a wedding, a divorce. Like she's been through all of these things on this show, a fractured friendship. Like she's been through all this.
Yeah.
They couldn't have picked a better friend up for this season if they tried.
No, I mean, just her disposition in itself. Like just who Cynthia is. It was a good choice.
Yes. Andy asked, this Andy with his damn shady question, how she felt about frickin' Frack revealing her hood situation. Like, he couldn't just let that go, right?
No, he's not going to let that go.
Couldn't just let that go. And he asked her how her boyfriend's doing, and she gave us his name, Le Prince, which we kind of knew. And, they showed a picture of him, which, again, we knew, but that's big for her.
Now it's really out there.
Right. Now it's official, right? Then Andy asked Porsha about how she was doing with the loss of her cousin Londi.
That was terrible.
It was terrible. She couldn't even talk about it. She
Yeah.
got very emotional. So he kind of like switched gears, which was the right thing to do. He said it was really great to finally see you were able to record in your home. And she gave us some clarification on that, he had bought that house prior to the marriage, but in their prenup, it was defined as marital property. So that gives her claim to it, which good for her.
Listen, if this guy doesn't have any money, she's probably got the house. Like, she was probably able to purchase the house or get the house financially because she's better off than him.
Right. I mean, I would imagine there's some kind of mortgage on it, and maybe she just assumed it,
Took it
right?
over.
Right.
Yeah.
They talk about him being detained by ICE, and it was rumored that, she called ICE on him, and, like she said, and even Phaedra confirmed, like, that would have not helped her for him to be detained. Andy asked, if Gerald and, Simon were buddies, Shamea's husband, and she said, yeah, like, they would hang out together, but they had some concerns about Simon, and Shamea and Gerald
Gerald.
expressed them to her. Like, make sure you do your homework. Make sure that, he's not broke.
Was Shamea friends with Fallon? I can't remember. I remember a scene where Portia was at Fallon and Simon's home.
No, I do
And
too.
I can't remember if Shamea was there. Like, Fallon was somebody's friend, and I
She
don't think
was
it
a
was Portia's.
she was a friend of. I don't
She
remember.
actually had a role on the show
No,
as a friend
I
of.
don't think she did,
Yeah,
but
she was a friend of
she was
somebody's.
seen more than once though. Like she didn't have an official friend of role,
I
but she
feel
was
like it was
seen.
that one girl.
It's
What was
just
her
like
name?
what's her name? Shamea didn't have an official friend of role either.
No, she didn't. She's just been on for so
She's
long.
been well, all right, right.
I forget the girl. I liked her. She had the curly hair, something with a T. She had a boyfriend or a man. She had her man and Tamara, or I don't know. Maybe it was her friend. I got to look into it.
Yeah, and Portia says that it took them almost 9 months to do the prenup. So she paid for the due diligence. Like it paid for her to do that. 9 months is a long time to get a prenup, especially when you consider that they met and were engaged and were married like within, what was it, 18 months? And 9
Yeah, and they
months
were
of
only
it,
married for 11.
you're working on the prenup.
Right. That
I
should have been
mean,
a red flag right there.
but she did say she loved him. I don't know. I don't know. A viewer asked Kelly about her question to Portia. Why did you want to know if, did you take that woman's husband? Was that because you were concerned or you just wanted to be messy? And she says that she was concerned. But Portia's like, no, you said that to be messy. Portia said that Kelly and her had a conversation like off camera and they both agreed that they were going to, that they were going through similar things. And that's when Kelly kind of got a little defensive. So Kelly said, well, I was married for 11 years and you were married for 11 months.
It's a big
And
difference.
there's a big difference. But she said, yeah, but we both loved our men. We were both in love with them. And we both agreed that the reason we were divorcing was really for financial and prenup reasons. And both of their husbands were putting their divorce documents online. So that's kind of what they had in common. I mean, I think that Kelly's situation is completely different. She has 4 children, 3
For
by him,
sure.
3 by him.
Right.
I mean, Portia had 1 child, not even by
Not by Simon.
Simon. Right.
And although I'm sure he grew close with Pilar, Dennis is in her life. Dennis is her
Right.
father. Like, she
Right.
doesn't need a stand-in.
Right.
She's her dad.
So then a viewer asked Portia, people already think you stole a cast member's husband. So why would you joke about wanting to F Angela's husband? And she said, first of all, let me apologize again. She apologized again for saying that. Angela said that she introduced you to Simon. So Angela was maintaining that Shamea introduced you to Simon. And then Drew chimed in and said, I thought that she said that. But then when they show you the clip, what she said was, I was there when she met Simon. I don't need to give you the timeline because they were trying to find out the timeline of when she was introduced. She's like, she was my best friend and I was there. I didn't introduce her to Simon, but I was there. I don't need to go into the timeline.
Why do you think Porsha hesitated, though, when Andy asked her, did Shamea introduce you to Simon? She hesitated.
She did hesitate, and I think this is what I think from just watching her in this reunion. I think she wanted to be very intentional with her words. I think that she really did go into this reunion wanting to, make apologies, mend fences where she could, and I think she just wanted to stop and think before she said anything. I think that that's what she wanted to do.
I think she got caught in a couple of lies.
Porsha. I mean, it could be, but Shamea didn't lie in this situation. Shamea did not say that she
No, I
introduced her.
totally agree with that.
She did
Shamea
not
did not say, I introduced him. She said, I was there.
I was
the night.
there.
But Andy made a good point. He's like, did you come up with that story? So it doesn't look like you creeped on someone else's husband. I mean, and that really could be what it is, which would mean that Porsha and Shamea had a conversation at one point, and Porsha said, yeah, you got to say you were there the night I met him. And Shamea did.
But Porsha did say, listen, I got introduced to him and let me carry my heat. So again, she is owning it. And I think that's,
and
why.
Who knows what, it just is what it is. Who gives a shit? He was married to somebody. Whatever happened, happened. Like, why do we even need to rehash it? So I understand why Portia's like, let's just move on.
Right. She says it's my heat. Like, let me own it. This is me,
It's not important to anything that happened this season.
Absolutely not important.
Shamea said I was there the night she met him. Whether that's true or not, really, who cares?
Right. Who cares? And then a viewer said, we love seeing Dennis and her and Pilar online. Any chance of a sibling for Pilar? And she said, we're just, kikiing all the time in my house. And then Kelli said, whose house? And Porsha said, it's my house. Again,
Kelli said, up in that man's house. And Porsha said, whose house?
Okay. And she said,
that's my house.
It's
and
my
Kelli
house.
Said, well, it's your all house.
Right. Porsha said, did you have your house? Kelli said, yeah, I moved out of my house. And Porsha said, well, I didn't have two houses. And she didn't have two houses. Right. But what happened to Dennis's money? Dennis had a house.
I mean, listen, bottom line is Portia's doing
She's
fine.
Yep.
There's not a doubt in my mind Porsha is doing just fine between the hot dog king and now taking Simon's house.
That's right. Right.
She's
then
fine.
Andy said to Drew, you had made a comment about Porsha coming back that, you thought that was a flop. Do you stand by that? And she said, yeah, I stand by that. Porsha's only storyline was me and Dennis. And she has so much to offer. Porsha does have a lot to offer. Porsha, she's been around a long time. She's got a lot going on in her life. And I kind of agree with her.
I think that what was really going on in Porsha's life had to do with her divorce, and she couldn't talk about it.
She couldn't talk about it. Right.
So that's why she did the whole Dennis Drew thing.
That is why I agree with you, but I do agree with Drew in the fact that before Simon, she had a lot going on in her life. She has, she has a big presence in Atlanta also. She's been around a long time. She knows a lot of people. She could have been pushing her business. There's other things she could have been doing.
Yeah, but she's probably not really running her businesses. Other people are doing it for her. So she's going to be like the new Real Housewives of Miami, Stephanie, walking into a boardroom where people look like they have never even met her before in their life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And yes. And
listen, and I don't mean that as a dig. Like, God bless you, Porsha. I hope you're going to the bank with all these businesses and don't even have to show up for a meeting. But that's what I'm saying. I think what was really going on in her life, she was consumed by that divorce, which, why wouldn't you be?
Right.
And she couldn't talk about it.
Right.
But you're right. Before Simon, she had a lot going on. So she should just get back together with Dennis. They are adorable together.
They are, but I think he's a player, and I think she knows
he's
that.
Definitely a player, yeah.
And then Andy asked if, she thought that Dennis and Drew were sleeping, and she said no, that, she didn't think that. Drew said, this is a business, and this is my business, and I conduct myself. And like, it was insulting to her. I know that you have to pay for studio time. Like, I know how this business works. This is what I do. And Porsha,
it was a little weird that they showed up to that party together dressed alike, though. It was very Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears.
I don't know that they
So
were
the
really.
optics weren't great.
I mean, were they dressed alike, though? They both happened to be wearing the same color.
No, still. One of them should have went home and changed, I'm sorry.
I don't know. Porsha said that she didn't want it brought up about Dennis and Drew. And I do think that that's true because there was something that was said. And then all of a sudden, Kelly came at her at Shamea's party. And at that point, it was too, like, it was too late. It was already brought up. That was like the first episode was Shamea's birthday party.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that was her intention. But then once it was out there, she's like, well, now I got to do something with it, right?
Yeah.
But she did give props to Drew on her album, and
Yeah,
she
she
said
did.
she is a good artist, which, again, I give her a lot of credit for.
Yeah. I mean, I think she was humbled.
What do you mean?
I feel like when housewives get heat on social media, they tend to kind of move differently. So Portia could have been moving differently at this reunion because of some heat she got on social media. Either way, I'm happy she got up and gave Drew a hug and seemed to squash it because like whether the alliance thing is true or not, and I tend to believe Shamea that yes, Portia was in on it. That was another lie I think Portia got caught in. Alliances don't make for a good show. We as viewers do not like seeing team this one versus team that one.
No.
Obviously, it's why Jersey's not on right now.
Right. No, we don't like
So
that.
as viewers, we don't see it. And quite honestly, I think that's exactly where OC is right now. And I'm not enjoying it. It's only one episode,
Yeah.
but I'm not enjoying it for that reason.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. So either way, again, I'm glad Portia did what she did. I do think it was very big of her. We never see housewives do this for the most part.
Yeah, so you and I kind of talked about it yesterday before we even
Yeah.
recorded this. So what Portia did is, she gave props to Drew, and then Andy asked her, Drew Portia said, "Listen, I would have never gone after your business like you did on Breakfast Club talking about the hair company." And
I didn't even know that had happened.
I didn't
I don't listen to Breakfast Club, but you think we would have seen something on social media about it.
I'm sure it was out there. I'm sure it was out there cuz Breakfast Club is pretty big in Atlanta.
But yeah. Yeah.
She said after you saw the season, Andy said, Portia, after you saw the season, Dennis and Drew's relationship was all business. Do you think you owe her an apology? And that's when you could see her get emotional. When I first saw her, I thought she's going to get up and walk out. Like I really thought she was going to walk out. I
Yeah. Yeah.
was very surprised to see her walk over and ask Drew to stand up and hug her and apologize. And when she did that, I was like, this is real. It's
I
real.
think we were not the only ones who were surprised. Did you hear Phaedra? She was like, "Oh, Lord Jesus," or something like that.
This is what I loved about Phaedra. Is
She
her little
does have
comments.
some good.
There's little comments that you get from her on the side because she just says it. She says what we're all thinking, and it just comes
Exactly.
out. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, it was good, whatever she said. So we weren't the only ones who were surprised.
Angela says 17 episodes later.
Exactly. That was great too. That was great. It only took 17 episodes.
Yep. And I also thought it was funny when Portia says, "Are we not in our light?" And then she looked around and she's like, "Oh, no. Actually, I mean, they tried to get in the right light, but she, we knew what she meant."
Yeah,
And
that
she
was good.
apologized for meeting up with Ralph. And, they talk about they're both going through divorces. And, Portia said she's healing. She's still healing, but it doesn't matter. It wasn't right what she did. It wasn't right how she came after Drew. And that's the last note I have. Is that it? Is that where it ends?
Yeah, it was it was good. I enjoyed it. It
No, I
was
did too. I did too.
I'll make you laugh though. When Kelly said Britt played the villain and the victim,
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to Tamara and Dolores, and Tamara's like, "Yeah, there's always one on a show that plays villain and the victim. They're the worst." I'm thinking, "That's you, asshole, on OC." Right?
Yep. Yes. Yes.
That's completely who Tamara is.
Yes.
Yeah, that blew me away. Kelly also did say that Britt did pay the glam.
Yes, she
when
did.
she used them.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting.
Also, I don't know if she also said, why don't I have this written down?
Well, wait, Angela, we end it with Angela approaching Phaedra about Angela pulled out some receipts with some pictures.
Yeah.
And she basically showed a picture of
her
Marcus's aunt who
Marcus's
graduated with Phaedra's brother or something.
Yes.
I mean, listen.
Why didn't I write anything down about this? All that did happen.
I mean, Phaedra denies it. Of course, she's going to deny it. I still really think it was Phaedra.
I don't think it was. And actually, that's the other thing. Like I don't think, first of all, Marcus has come out and said,
I know, but come on.
Not that he's, listen, there's no credibility there. There's no credibility there.
It's probably whoever's going to pay him the most. He's got zero credibility. I mean, at this point, I don't even give a shit who did it, who said what, who paid who. I never want to see Marcus again.
Yeah, no, we don't need to see Marcus again.
Marcus is the Kim D of Atlanta. I never want to hear from him again.
I agree with that. Angela, listen, we both agree that we really like Angela, and I think that she's a great housewife. But when they were talking about that whole thing about the alliance and how it was Porsha and Shamea and Britt and Kelli, I thought to myself, and Andy even said, when Portia's like, no, and Shamea's like, let me finish. And, she finished, and Andy's like, to Shamea. So Porsha knew she was a part of the alliance. And Shamea's like, yes, she did. Yes, she did. So, but then Portia's the one who said, we know how alliances work out. We've already seen how it happens here. Well, then
I think Porsha was lying in that moment. I think all of these women, not all of them, I think Porsha is capable of lying. I think Phaedra is capable of lying. I think Drew is capable of lying. I'm probably going to say I think they're all capable of lying except Angela. I don't think Angela is a liar. I don't think Angela has anything to lie about. She has filmed a scene with her therapist talking about Charles being unfaithful. I mean, what else is the woman going to do? Why would she lie about who brought it up? And I firmly believe that Phaedra did all of that behind the scenes before she came back on the show. She knew Angela Oakley was going to be on the show, so she did what she had to do. But either way, at this point, I hope we bury it. Of course they're going to bring it up at the next part of the reunion.
Right.
But I hope we just get past it because all we're doing is giving this guy Marcus more airtime. And that needs to get cut off. Like, I honestly wish Charles would have just kicked his ass out of that. Like, Angela should have just let Charles kick his ass out of that party because Marcus is a nobody.
Yeah, no, he is. Really didn't. Yeah. He didn't need to be a part of this whole season at all. Not at all. And I think that I still don't think it's Phaedra. I don't think it's Phaedra.
You know what's interesting well, I guess she just wants to know who, like, why? Like, why would you send this guy in? Because she's already admit to the fact that her husband cheated on her. So it's not like she is just learning this. I guess she just wanted to know who was doing it to her and let everybody else know who was doing it to her. Like, basically, I guess that was that confessional scene with her and Charles. He's like, I don't give a shit. What do we care? And she's like, no, I care. Which I guess I would care, but to me, it's just giving it more life. And why do you even want to do that? You good? Your marriage is good? You good? Great. We're good.
So this is one of those things that I'm like, how do you move forward from this? Right? Like,
yeah.
How do you move forward from this? And even Angela's like, like, why didn't anyone try to get me? Like, Angela was new. Like, why didn't anyone approach her?
Well, somebody said, well, you had Drew. Somebody, I don't know if it was Kelli or Shamea, but basically, like,
because they knew each other from Chicago.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like we said, alliances, we don't want to say it. So
no, we don't want to see it. Just come and show us your natural self. And if you get mad at your best friend, you get mad at your best friend, which obviously we see happen between Porsha and Shamea.
And if you're mad at your friend, I will give Porsha this, though. Unlike other franchises, she had beef with Shamea. She did not get anybody else involved. She wasn't trying to get Phaedra on her side. She wasn't trying to get Cynthia on her side.
No,
she let it be between her and Shamea. I'll give her credit for that because other franchises, Tamra, Teresa, if they don't like somebody, they try to recruit people against them.
Yeah.
Lisa Barlow.
even so much as when things were brought up to Porsche that Shamea did or didn't do, Porsha wouldn't even address it. She'd say,
That's right.
I will take care of this on the side. This is not something we're going to put out there. And
Right.
again, I like that's a class act. I'm sorry, but that is the way to handle it. If it's your best friend,
I agree. If it's
you're
your best friend. If
if
it
it's your
weren't her best friend, she might have acted a little differently,
right.
but whatever. I give her credit for it because
Yeah,
I hate that on other franchises where because that's how it turns into team this versus team that.
right. There wasn't any nobody was on Watch What Happens Live after this one, right?
Really?
I
After
mean,
the reunion?
maybe I just didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. It must
Sunday.
did I watched
No,
this on
you know it
Peacock.
wasn't. You know what was on? It was Sarah Jessica Parker and, somebody else. It was Sarah Jessica Parker. It wasn't anyone
That's
from
weird.
Atlanta. Yeah, she's the whole thing with, and just like that, that have you heard all this stuff with how bad this whole season is and how bad it was written and
Yeah, I mean, the one chick's father died in the first season and
yes.
died again in the third season.
I mean, talk about shoddy.
I watched the first season of that and I mean, I think I watched a couple of episodes of the second season because I did see Aiden a little bit, but I couldn't do it. I mean, I can't believe I got through the first season. Did you watch the first season?
I watched the first season, and I think I did watch the second season, and I was looking forward to the third season, but I don't even feel like watching it now that everything I've heard about it, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, what is the point?
I just felt like the first season was I mean, I don't know who she has writing this, but you can't
It's Candace
possibly.
Bushnell. I mean, it's the same writer as Sex and the City.
It is?
I think it is.
You cannot address every possible social situation, every possible social, happening that's going on right now in one season. Like, I don't know, pick 2 out of 10. You can't tackle all 10 in one season, and that's what they tried to do, and it was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Let's see. And
Was
just
it the
like
first
that.
season or the second season they tried to make it like Miranda was an alcoholic?
That was the first season, I think.
Yeah.
That was
And
the first
and
season.
she's an alcoholic and she realizes she's bisexual,
Right.
all in the same season. I mean, I feel like we could have strung that out a little bit.
Okay, so no, and just like that, it's primarily written by Michael Patrick King, who also serves as executive producer and director.
Oh, so
Additionally,
he was on the first.
a
He was on
addition
Sex and the City.
additionally, a team of writers contributes to the series, including Eliza Zertsky and Julia Rottenberg. So, and I mean, I don't know if you heard, but Heather McDonald was talking about it, and it's so true. Like these actresses, they had to know. That actress whose father died twice, she had to know that her father died already. And it's like, what do you do? Like, you just go and you act it out, like, you don't say anything? Like
Didn't anybody say to the writers, like, "Pardon me, but this already happened." No wonder. I mean, I've heard Kim Cattrall she basically said Sarah Jessica Parker wasn't nice to her.
yeah,
But she must have read this script and was like, "Hell to the no."
yeah. I mean,
It's
yeah,
horrible.
yeah, I don't know that I can watch it. Not after all those horrible reviews as to what went on and how poorly it was written and executed.
Yeah,
And it's sad because I love New York City. I love Sex in the City. I would have liked to seen the next chapter, but that's not what they're giving us. They're giving us garbage. And I as a viewer am insulted, to be quite honest with
totally
you.
agree.
I'm insulted.
Totally agree.
I'm insulted. So I'm not watching it.
No, not worth it. I mean, these
Yeah.
writers get paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money,
Yes, they sure do. They sure do.
especially on a show like that. Like, maybe not all right, but I'm just saying, like, I'm sure they have a very big budget on this.
I believe that Sarah Jessica Parker didn't catch it. Like, how do you let
I'd love to know if that was addressed on Watch What Happens Live, but they're big buddies, so he probably
he
did
would
not
never.
ask
He
her.
would never. He would
No,
never. He would never. They
no,
are
he wouldn't.
BFFs. He would never. He would never, which is unfortunate. I mean, I guess, if he was my BFF, I wouldn't want him to either. Right?
I know, but you're Andy Cohen. Like, you have a responsibility as a talk show host.
Or then
You'd
just
do it
don't
to
have her on.
anybody else.
Or then just don't have her on. You know,
Right.
if
I
you're
said
not,
it to Gina. I said, because she asked me if I watched Watch Out to Live. I said, no, I'm losing it for Andy because of that. You know what's funny? I was thinking about this today, and listeners at home, please listen. We really do our research. Like, we really do watch these shows. We have our laptops or our devices for typing notes. We watch the after shows. We watch What Happens Live. When Tamara said that today about not realizing Porsha was sleeping, I'm thinking, how did you miss that? Number one.
mm-hmm,
Then and I brought this up to Gina when we covered The Valley. Bros and Shows were talking about the scene where Jasmine and Brittany were so upset at the engagement luau, and we're talking about, being pissed off that Nia and Danny weren't there, and the guys on Bros and Shows didn't understand why. Well, I watched the after show and they explained, and I'm not defending them.
yeah,
Still
but
think they
Nia
were
and Danny were
ridiculous.
out on the boat fishing.
Not only that, Nia and Danny went back to shower, and Zach asked everybody else to come down and help set up. They were setting up. They were blowing up balloons. So Jasmine and Brittany were like, why are we blowing up balloons and Nia and Danny aren't blowing up balloons? So that's why they were pissed, because they were responsible for helping out. But I'm like, they don't watch the after show. We
Right,
do. Well, I
right.
just started. You and Lori always do.
Yeah, yeah, but
But
I mean,
we really do our research.
we do, and we do watch the show, and we do take notes, and we do listen to other podcasts about the show, even though we do our own
Yeah.
podcast. And we learn other things, and we try and spread our knowledge
And
around.
and I'm not trying to talk negatively about Bros and Shows, because I really do enjoy their podcast, but it's just funny to me because we've watched all of these shows from the beginning. Like you said last night, we've
Mm-hmm.
watched OC season 1. We've been doing this for 19 years.
Right.
Not this, but watch it for 19 years.
But we've been watching it like it was our job from the very beginning. It just all of a sudden became our
Absolutely.
job, right?
Absolutely. But
I mean, we're still not getting paid for it, but we're
No,
still
we are
watching
not.
it like it's our
No, we
job.
are not. I find myself when I'm listening to Bros and Shows, they'll say something and I'll remember something from season 1 of whatever show they're covering that they don't know because they didn't watch it. And I'm like, no, that's not it. It's blah, blah, blah. And I'm like talking to myself in the car,
Right.
thinking of, about what really happened in season 1 that they don't know about because they haven't been watching it
From the
from the
beginning.
beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
No
agree.
shade to them. I'm just,
No, listen.
it just cracks me up because
Yeah,
we really, I'm not even going to say it because I'm not even going to say it.
You can't do that.
I think we should create a Housewives trivia game because I think you and I could completely do that.
Yeah, let's do it. Why didn't you want to say that?
Because I don't want somebody stealing our idea.
You think someone's going to steal the idea?
I don't know who listens.
You mean like a trivia, like a product, an actual product? Well, I wonder if we'd have to get it licensed through Bravo.
Probably.
We certainly could come up with the questions. I mean,
Absolutely. Every franchise, every season, we could do it.
Yeah, we definitely could. I mean, listen, like I said, we've been doing this like it's our job for 19 years.
19 years. I'll never forget Eric. Oh no, this was the show Las Vegas, because Tess was 3 when OC came out. But I think I was pregnant with Tess, and no, Tess was just born. Whatever, doesn't matter. Eric's like, I don't know if I should tell you this or not, but there's a new show that just came out. It's called Las Vegas. It's about a casino, and Josh Duhamel's in it. I'm like, oh my god! I was like hooked. But that was before DVRs and streaming, so I really had to wait every week to watch it. But I loved that show.
Yeah, no, I used to watch that show too. I remember that show.
I don't remember what holiday it is, but there's some holiday. It's a weekend, and I think it's E! Channel does a Las Vegas marathon from beginning to end. And I watch it every year, whatever holiday it is.
That's good to know. Well, I will let our listeners know on this podcast, in case you didn't see my post, that for my birthday, Kelli and Lori got me the Let's Sprinkle by MG coffee cake that I had asked for my birthday. I love sweets. I'm like a sweet tooth junkie, and I love to sprinkle cookies. And I tasted it last night. I opened it and I tasted it, and I put a video up, and it is very, very good. And I also have to say, I didn't mention this in the other video, that cake weighs like 5 pounds. That cake is so heavy. It is so heavy. And when I opened up the plastic in the center of the, where there's a hole in the center, there was all these extra sprinkles in there. cat, like, grabbed it and ate the whole thing of
Oh
sprinkles. It
my
was
god,
just, like,
that's so
pure
funny.
sugar. It was pure sugar, but, listen, I'm gonna have another piece tonight.
Good,
It's very good. It is very good
good.
cake. It's a good cake.
I believe it.
I hope that she can get this in local grocery stores so that people don't have to pay for the shipping. Because I would have bought it a long time ago. I would have bought the cookies. I mean, we did buy the cookies, but I would buy it regularly. I just don't like to pay that kind of money
Yeah.
for shipping. And the cake is
No, I
heavy.
agree,
The
but, like,
cake is
what a
heavy.
cool thing to have, like, for holidays and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, or whatever.
All right. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening. We Wine Whenever. Please subscribe. Give us a 5-star review. Tell your friends. Bye.
Bye.